Hi, I'm Mike, founder of GoodBed.com. Today we're going to take you on a quick walkthrough of the full collection of mattresses from Tuft Needle, which includes the brand new Tuft Needle Mint Hybrid. We're excited to show it to you. Stick around. All right, so let's start out by talking about what these three mattresses all have in common. And just to be clear, I'm talking about the Tuft Needle Original, the Tuft Needle Mint, and the brand new Mint Hybrid. The number one thing that they all have in common is they all use kind of Tuft Needle's secret ingredient, special weapon, secret sauce, whatever you want to call it, which is their T&N adaptive foam, which is what I'm showing you right here. This is a polyurethane foam, open cell, with a couple of things mixed into it. Number one is graphite, that's what gives it that gray coloring, and the second is gel beads. So those gel and graphite are both conductors. The principle there is, of course, when you include conductors in a material like foam, it helps heat flow more efficiently through that material and therefore away from your body. And I also did mention the open cell aspect of this. That too has a cooling rationale, which is that open cell structure helps promote airflow, and airflow is also an important element of keeping you cool at night. So two features there that are both designed to keep you cool. And then of course, just from a feel standpoint, you can see this is a quick responding foam. It's actually even a little bit bouncy. So certainly it has more of a latex-like quality than it does anything resembling memory foam. But it is also, a good pressure relieving foam, and it's conforming and supportive and so forth as well. So just a couple of other observations about this material. Now, in terms of how this material is used in these mattresses, you're gonna find 3 inches of this T&N adaptive foam in each of the 3 models. In most cases, it's gonna be your top layer. In the case of this brand new Mint Hybrid, it's going to be actually 1 layer down, and it's actually going to be split into 2 separate layers to get you to the total of 3 inches. There's a 2-inch layer, then there's another 1-inch layer of it further down into the mattress. But nonetheless, you are going to get 3 inches of this material, and that is going to be a big part of what gives these mattresses a consistent feel across the lineup. The second thing that I would say all 3 of these mattresses have in common is they all use a stretch cover, kind of a smooth top, not any kind of quilting, and that's actually a departure, because the previous version of the Tuft Needle Hybrid, which was not called Mint Hybrid, just the Tuft Needle Hybrid, did have a quilted cover. So we'll get into that more when we talk about the specifics of the Mint Hybrid, but at this point in the lineup, they all use a stretch cover, they all use a smooth top, meaning basically the premium comfort foams, whether it's this T&N adaptive foam, or in the case of the Mint Hybrid, it's actually a micro diamond infused memory foam. Those premium comfort materials are going to be right below the cover so that you can kind of sink into them and experience them most closely without any quilting materials in between you and those foams. All right, so now let's jump into the specific models in this collection, and we'll start with what is now known as the Tuft Needle Original, and is also now the entry-level model in this lineup. The construction of this mattress really could not be any simpler. It is a 2-layer mattress and always has been. We're talking about 3 inches of that T&N adaptive foam that I showed you just a moment ago. And then below that, you have a 6.5-inch support core. In terms of the feel of this mattress, we've done actually a full in-depth review of this mattress. It was several years ago, but it's every bit as relevant today, so I'd highly recommend you checking that out if you're serious about this mattress. But I can cover a few highlights for you here, which is that this is a mattress we'd classify as a medium firm level of softness on our softness spectrum. In terms of the cushioning depth, we classify it as just about in the middle, if not slightly below the middle, but overall I'd probably put it as an average amount of cushioning depth, meaning it's a blend between sort of sleeping in your mattress and sleeping on your mattress. And then in terms of memory feel, really no memory feel to speak of. In terms of bounce, notwithstanding the fact that this top layer of T&N adaptive foam does have quite a bit of springiness to it, as I just showed you, when you consider that in concert with the fact that this is a foam core, which does not have a lot of bounciness, particularly if I'm talking about deep bounce, where I put my full weight on the mattress, I would say on balance, holistically, this is a mattress that has less bounce than, say, your average mattress. All right, so now we've moved over to the Mint mattress, which is the second mattress that Tuft Needle introduced. And this is a mattress that is pretty similar in construction to the original, but for the fact that they've introduced a 3rd layer, and they actually introduced it as a transition layer in between that T&N adaptive foam and that 6.5-inch foam core. So in between there is a layer they call the Mint layer. It's essentially a different formulation of that T&N adaptive foam, but without the graphite, and with some ceramic, which is also meant to have a cooling aspect to it. So in terms of the feel of this mattress, this is again a mattress that we have done an in-depth review of before. And technically, nothing has changed about the construction of this mattress except for the cover. So I still would recommend, if you're serious about this mattress, go ahead and check out that full in-depth review where we talk about all the different characteristics and we really size it up in a full in-depth review. That being said, what I will tell you is that this version of the Mint mattress does feel just a tad bit softer than the previous version we tested. Just enough to kick it up into the medium soft classification, but just at the very firm end of that classification. So we are going to make an adjustment there from, we previously characterized it as a medium and now we're characterizing it as a medium soft. But again, not as, it's as subtle of a change as possible given the fact that it's just barely into medium soft. Likewise with the cushioning depth, we had previously put it kind of right down the middle in terms of average amount of cushioning depth. Now I would say it's maybe just slightly deeper than average cushioning in terms of, because I did notice that there's a little bit more conformance and a little bit more sinkage. However, if you're looking for those characteristics, but you don't necessarily like the feeling of sleeping in your mattress, this is actually a great compromise because it offers those characteristics, yet the very quick responsiveness of those 2 layers of T&N adaptive foam gives it a buoyancy, much like a latex mattress might have, that really keeps you from feeling like you're kind of in your mattress. It really kind of gives you more of that floating sensation. So again, a good compromise, and if not a combination of those 2 characteristics. And then in terms of memory feel, there's really no memory foam in this mattress, so it doesn't have really any memory feel to speak of. And in terms of bounce, as I mentioned, there are those 2 layers of T&N adaptive foam, which as we showed you is a very springy material, so that gives certainly the top half of the mattress quite a bit of quick responding kind of bounce to it. Of course, that is offset by the fact that the bottom layer, the foam core, really has no deep bounce to speak of. So on balance, we would characterize this as having an average amount of bounce, which is the same as we had previously characterized it. And one recent change they've made to this model is that they've added a zip-off cover, which can just zip all the way right off from just a few inches down below the top here. And it is not only machine washable, but it is also dryer safe. So that's a nice convenience in terms of keeping your mattress clean. All right, so now we've moved up to the top of the line within this Tuft Needle collection, which is the brand new Mint Hybrid mattress. And this one has a little bit of a different construction here. We're talking about a 5-layer mattress. You've got 1-inch layer of micro diamond infused memory foam at the very top of the mattress. And the diamonds essentially, again, are meant to help heat flow more efficiently through the material. But that memory foam, that micro diamond infused memory foam, is really a dense memory foam with a lot of that kind of slow responsive memory feel. And I'll tell you that because it's right up at the top, even though that's the only memory foam in this mattress and it's only 1 inch, it does give the mattress more memory feel than you might expect for a mattress that only has 1 inch of memory foam in it. We'll talk about that in a second, but right below that memory foam, you have a 2-inch layer of the T&N adaptive foam, the same material that we've shown you in each of the 2 previous mattresses. And then below that, you have a layer of nanocoils, a 1-inch layer of nanocoils. Nanocoils are essentially little baby encased coils, very much like a pocket spring. They're just a little bit softer and they tend to have a smaller diameter, usually about the size of a quarter. So you get a lot of them in terms of a coil density in a sheet of them. And they just offer conformance, some responsive support to them, and they also have a comfort element. They almost function like a foam, more so than they do like a support spring. And then below that 1-inch layer of nanocoils, you have another 1-inch layer of that T&N adaptive foam, to bring the total to 3 inches for this mattress, just like the other 2 models. And then below that, you have a 6-inch pocketed spring layer. And that spring layer, I should mention, has edge coils going around the perimeter, a couple rows of smaller diameter edge coils that are basically a higher coil density going around the perimeter of the mattress to give the mattress a stronger edge. And then there is also on this mattress, just like with the Mint, a zip-off cover that is both machine washable and dryer safe. So that's pretty much the construction of this Mint Hybrid mattress. Now, in terms of the feel, we would classify the softness level here as a straight up medium on our softness spectrum. So really just a tiny bit firmer than the traditional Mint mattress. And that's really on account of the fact that there's this dense memory foam on the top, just has a little bit more surface firmness. But actually, in terms of cushioning depth, meaning how deeply are you sinking into the mattress and how much conformance it offers, this probably has the most of the three, just slightly more than the Tuft Needle Mint mattress. And then in terms of memory feel, as I mentioned, only an inch of memory foam here, but because it's right at the top and because it has a lot of density and a lot of that slow responsiveness, I would say that it almost is enough to bring this mattress to kind of like an average level of memory foam, recognizing that today memory foam is such a popular material in mattresses that the average mattress today tends to have some amount of memory foam in it. So just basically about an average, if not slightly below average, amount of memory feel. And then in terms of bounce, we would say it has just a little bit above average amount of bounce. However, what's interesting about it is that unlike the other two mattresses, which also have a bit of bounce, their bounce comes at the top of the mattress. Here, I would say the top of the mattress is not that bouncy on account of that shock-absorbing memory foam that comprises the top layer, whereas underneath that, you have the adaptive foam, you've got nano coils, and of course you've got pocketed coils, which gives you plenty of deeper level bounce in this mattress and overall brings the kind of aggregate amount of bounce in this mattress to more than average. And I should just reiterate that this mattress is actually replacing what was previously known as the T&N Hybrid, although this is a different construction than that other model. All right, so there you have it. We hope you found that to be a helpful overview of the full collection of Tuft Needle mattresses. If you're serious about these mattresses, I would highly recommend checking out not only our in-depth reviews of the specific models that I mentioned, but also using our website, GoodBed.com, to compare these mattresses side by side, both with each other as well as with any other mattresses that you may be considering. You'll be able to see not only the metrics that I described in this video for the feel characteristics, but also our assessments across any number of other characteristics about these mattresses in a real simple side-by-side format. So definitely take advantage of that. In the meantime, we thank you for watching and we really hope you sleep well.